No, I was looking at two things, right? I was looking at the bucket width, which is the kind of width that you sit in, because I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3". I'm not a small, you know, person. So this particular one, which is the Evo 2, I think it is, this is pretty much the widest seat that they did, and it fits me beautifully. I also paid attention to the back here, because I have a long back, so I wanted to make sure that, you know, my shoulders, this bit comes up to roughly where my shoulders are, and I didn't want anything else sticking here. Like, some of the racing rigs that you get have things that come out the side here like that, which is, you know, if you're racing, great. If you're in a sim rig, what's the point? And not only that, it actually stops you from having, if I want to bring a mic round here or a light or whatever, I didn't want anything here. I don't need a head support when I'm in a sim rig. But, you know, these are actual racing seats, that's the thing. So they're built for a job. Any newer plates have been released today and they are the number 20 in them. Of course they are. They got 70 in them in the UK when they come out. 7-0. Insomnia? Probably not. I did, Auburn. I didn't want to make a mistake. I spent many, many hours poring over the details of the build, to make sure I ordered the right parts. When you order it from SimLabs, you're looking at like 3 weeks before it turns up. So if you forget something, if your stuff arrives and you didn't order something, you're going to be looking at 3 weeks before that turns up. So, you know, pay attention to the details, and you'll save you a lot of pain later. Again, what do you do on your day off? Exactly. This seat is actually pretty good. Somi sat in it, he'll tell you. I mean, you know, it's not going to be as comfortable as a BMW 7 Series seat with electric heating and massage features, is it? But, as far as it goes, it's not bad. Stroking my beard, thank you for 42. After 3 hours of the night stroking, what's the overall feedback? Let's see. Overall feedback. I want to move that camera, and I want to get a different arm for it. I want to have another light up here that looks down this way, so it illuminates this area better for you on that camera. The microphone, this arm works perfectly in terms of position, but it's not easy to move away when I want to get out. It's not a massive issue, but I'm going to ponder whether there's a better solution. The wheel, the buttons, the shifter, all that's working really well. Pedals, they're in a nice position. Keyboard, it's fine. Mouse, slightly annoying that the mouse, if I have the mouse the right way up and then I change gear, that's annoying. I have to turn the mouse upside down to stop it doing that, because the vibration on the mouse pad causes the mouse to move slightly and move the camera. That's a bit irritating. You not put the mic over your head? Well, one option is to have it coming in like that from up there, as long as it doesn't interfere with that camera view. I don't think rubber bushings would even help, to be honest. Most of it's working pretty well. Like, the screen's in a nice position, that monitor's in a good position. A lot of it is working pretty well. No, they don't make anti-vibration mouse pads. The problem is that I might just cut this piece here. I don't know. It's probably because of the way I've got it set up. It's sending the vibration through the mousepad. You can see the game screen twice. Yes, you can see it from that camera, which is what I wanted. Yeah, a shelf on the wall for drinks. I'm not sure about the mouse. To have it on the wall for the mouse to be a bit... I don't know. I don't know if I want to be using a mouse over here, you know? Yeah, this week I'd like to solve the problem with the rudder pedal. You live in the UK, why not have the shifter on the left? Most of the games that I play, you tend to drive on the right-hand side of the road, where the shifter is on the right. Frankly, I'm agnostic to the whole thing. If I put the shifter on the left, I'd have to spin the whole rig round and get out that way. And then I'd have the shifter here, where the keyboard is, which is arguably not as useful anyway. You have an AC power adapter for your GoPro. Yeah, it's just USB. It's it's just a USB cable that goes into the side of it, and it goes into pretty much any USB power supply you can make. It stays power the USB. Absolutely does. That's a Hero 4, and that's a Hero 5, I think. And they both work absolutely fine. Like, I have a battery in there anyway, just in case. But I've never had them run out. I've streamed for 8 hours off that camera, and it's never run out. I have a battery just in case I disconnect a cable or something. You know, I don't want it dropping out. The battery will keep it going, so I'll shove it back in. How much is a curved screen? One of these is going to set you back over 800 pounds easily. Probably 900 now. You want a GoPro Black 7 and iRacing League? I haven't used it yet. Well, you know, if you want to send it over here, Quirk, I'll use it. Hang on. Trying to reach the aircon buttons. It's getting a bit warm in here. Yeah, this cup of tea on the floor thing ain't working. That's going to get fixed this week. AC in March. Dude, I'm in a room with a computer that's chucking heat out right now. And I've been in here for most of the day. It's too warm in here. If I open the door for 20 minutes, it'd be freezing cold. I can't reach the door though, but I can reach my AC button. PJ Webb, thank you for 42. Get a TV bracket for the mouse and tea and condiments. Well, would I trust it? I have got quite a few TV brackets, to be fair. I've got a few TV arm mounts I could use, but maybe just a shelf. You move it to where you're like, within reason you can, yeah. I suppose you could if you had it on arm. I'd just be frightened of the whole thing. Like, if you don't lock them in place, the whole thing could just move, and then you have drinks everywhere. Flight sim videos soon. You're probably looking at a few weeks, but yes. What stays on the rig when you change to your non-rig setup? Everything stays on the rig. I don't take a single thing off here. And that was what I wanted. So thanks to that display fusion, I can click on a profile and switch these monitors over there. And all I do down on the floor is disconnect the USB for all of this, keyboard, mouse, Stream Decks, whatever. All of these just shut down. I go and sit over there. On the back of the Go XLR, I'll swap the audio out and the mic in. So instead of having this mic and this headset, it'll use the mic over there and the headset over there. That's it. There's just no way I want to be moving equipment from here to there. But again, it comes down to the hardest part about the whole build, the hardest part about this entire room, what I've done here, without a doubt, was trying to think about the vision. Think about what I wanted it to look like. Given the constraints of this room space, and a certain set of criteria that I wanted to meet, like I wanted to have a racing rig. You know, then it's like, well, do you want triple or do you want ultra wide? Given my room dimensions, triples is just not even an option. So, okay, ultra wide. Right, how wide's an ultra wide? If I put an ultra wide here, how far does that come in off the wall? Where does my desk then sit? So how big is my desk, given that the door's next to the desk? It's like all of those details that you have to sit down and work out. What monitor brackets do I want? Do I want to be able to move them up and down, pull them in and out? So much, you know. I want a height adjustable desk. Where do I get one from? More research. It's crazy, like how much time it takes to fathom out. And then it's like, well, I want to plug my Fanatec wheelbase in here, right? Okay, I want to plug my yoke in there. How do I do that? What buttons am I going to have off the side? How do I mount them? When I'm sat in the rig, where's my keyboard going? Where's my mouse going? Is it possible to mount a stick or not? Is it going to get in the way of this stick? So much. I don't know, Tommy. I kind of left that with you. You said that you was going to chat with the missus about it, so I've not heard anything yet. So, I don't know. And that was the other thing, yeah, Langerveld, is like I knew that I had Microsoft Flight Sim coming. I knew that I wanted to be able to fly, as well as race, as well as drive. It must be rewarded to see the finished project. It's almost there. Like, the vision is almost complete. But it does take an absolute ton of time. Is your FOV correct? No. No. FOV in this is set quite wide. The main reason is so that you, when you're watching me drive, you can see that mirror. If I set the FOV correctly, I'd have a lovely experience, but you'd probably, like when iRacing, you'd pretty much see out of that window. Actually, saying that, one second, what's it on? Yeah, 68. FOV on iRacing is 80. One second, what was it on? On iRacing, my FOV is like that. Like, there's just no way that that's correct. That just feels a bit weird to me. Even that's pretty high. but according to iRacing FOV calculator, I'm on like 84, 85, something like that. Yeah, I think you're a little bit closer to me, Quirk, because your screen, I've noticed your screen is about here, which is a little bit closer to mine. Yours is on 99. Yeah, to be honest, I've never set the FOV in this game based on my new monitor, so I have no idea what it should be for this game. Yeah, I can't actually get my screen here, Quirk, because of a horizontal piece on the monitor stand won't come past the upright. So I don't know how you did that. I don't know how you got that, unless you put unless your monitor stand is in front of your upright here, maybe. I don't know how you did that. You had to purchase a 4-inch extension. To what? For your wheel? Oh. Oh, so that you could put that further back. Interesting. Blimey. So you purchase, what, like a shaft? An extension to the shaft here? So that you can push the wheelbase back and then keep the wheel where it is. And then move your seat forward, maybe. Is that what you mean? SCS games set the FOV for an 8.8 to 5 aspect ratio and then add to fit the monitor's aspect ratio. Yeah, the iRacing is FOV, I think. I think I'm 26 inches from the monitor, yeah. Does iRacing have automatic and manual? Yep. You can have it auto clutch shift and auto blip and that kind of thing. Underscore, thank you for 30 months. B747, finally on 3 years. Thank you very much, sir. Hey, Grindock. The auto and manual guys race together is that far. Langeveld. In a race, you might have somebody that's got a direct drive wheel, Heisenfeld racing pedals, an ultra-wide monitor, and there's somebody else in the same race with a 24-inch monitor and a G29 racing pedal set. There's nothing fair about iRacing. Unfortunately, that's simulation for you in general. It is true. Auto clutch actually slows you down, so... Quirk, you can already post a link. Because you're more than 3 months up. Hang on, let me have a look. Blimey. That extension, does that, that doesn't cause any, like, issues with fidelity, or doesn't bend or anything like that? It's pretty solid. Super strong, it's meant for real cars. Interesting. What's the, you got is it a Simucube you've got wheelbase? I can't remember. SnowRunner, yeah. You got the oldest SimuCube 1. Didn't you say that it was like a real pain to set up, though? I mean, I don't know the details, Squirt. What's the difference between the SimuCube direct drive, the OSW, and the Fanatec one? Like, what would make you go for one and not the other? You started out racing months back, practiced in the MX-5, practiced a lot, won your first 2 races, never played again. Too nerve-wracking. Oh, this is going to be ridiculous to turn into. Oh, there's me going for my camera again. Oh my god, are you serious? You actually having a laugh? Don't need to do much anymore these days, you literally just plug them in now. That was fun. Oh, it lined up and then went off again. Wants it exactly there. You do NASCAR and iRacing, bumper to bumper for 2 hours. Oh man. What was I watching? Was it a real No, it was a NASCAR sim race. It was on the iRacing channel. It was a few weeks ago, and there was like a group of 8 cars, maybe 10 actually, and they were just bumper to bumper, like lap after lap after lap after lap, just going around. And then one car just came down and just brushed, just touched the car next to him, and all hell broke loose. Like, these cars were like, oh my god, the carnage. And the voice chat in iRacing just, you stupid idiot, brr. Can't you see me down there, you blind, blah, blah. Oh my god. I don't know. It's just me, but I kind of like racing is about, most of the skill of racing really comes from braking. Yeah. Anybody can put the foot flat on the throttle, but your time really is won or lost in braking. And if you've got a track that is just floor the throttle and go zing, 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 zing like that, I don't find that as interesting as proper road racing. PC Geek, thank you very much for 5 years. Happy anniversary. Thank you very much, PC Geek. You can't play Star Citizen. Oh dear. Yeah, well, not a new room. Well, I rebuilt the room. It's the same room. You need to make that SF. There's a guy sub called was it Turns Left a Lot? I reckon he's a NASCAR fan. You think you've cracked the radio control gantries in Stormworks? Oh. Having a busy Sunday. Pimp the room. Strips it back, started again. Let's see. We managed to make it down to Coos Bay. Nice to sit in front of a computer doing stuff. See what they got going on. House prefabs. All-terrain crane. We've just done something like that. Cable reel down to port. Oh, that's gone back up again. That's no good. Lumber. A lot of these are going north. I don't know about UK laws, but are you able to write off some of the remodel on taxes due to being self-employed? Not really. Generally speaking, the way I do it is... Well, actually, it's different because, I mean, I have a company that buys stuff. You run it through a company, it's more tax efficient. So the company can buy some things and not others. For example, the company can't pay to paint the walls because this is part of my house. And if I allow the company to, you know, put in a new door or paint the walls or whatever, like do actual fixtures to my house, I will be liable to capital gains tax when I come to sell my house. However, if the item is removable, so for example, if my company buys a steering wheel, right? Because if the company moves from this location, it can take it with it. That's not capital gains liable. That's the way to do it. Just think of the fact, can your company take it away or is it fixed? If it's fixed, you better doing it yourself. You get 0 VAT on purchasing. No, only if you're VAT registered, which I'm not. Like, VAT registering is a real pain. You have to do quarterly returns every 3 months. And because my income tends to come from in dollars, there's no point doing it of VAT, because if I registered for VAT, I'd probably be asking the VAT man for more money than I'm giving him. And they tend to get really upset when you do that. Like, every time I buy something with VAT, I'll be like, hey, tax man, you owe me money. And, yeah, they won't be happy. Ooh, lift truck. Oh, that's a bit long. Get really upset when you do anything. They don't get upset when you're giving them money. Every now and again, they'll make sure that you shouldn't be giving them more, but they don't get upset when you're giving them money. If they're giving you money, they don't like it. 16-ton harvester. 18-ton bulldozer. Let's say that. I think this is going to be the last one today. Oh, I've got to sort that mouse pad out this week as well. So we can go that way, can't we? Yeah, Hannah, exactly. I think it was in this market. There it is. What happened to the last video on Stormworks? You mean the stream? VAT is confusing. It's not. VAT is 20%. That's not very confusing. What's confusing is... some items are exempt, some have a low rate, some have a high rate, you know, that's what's confusing. Like, you know, food, for example. Educational stuff and food and gas and electric used to have no tax. And now, food still has zero tax unless it's been cooked. If it's been cooked, it has VAT on it because it's deemed to be like a restaurant then. But electricity and gas, they put tax on it a number of years ago. VAT is 20% in the UK. Huh, that's actually quite low. Go and look around Europe and you'll find that VAT is higher. Yeah, the way America works is like everything just has tax on it. You seem to have multiple small amounts of tax instead of one big tax. Food isn't taxed. In which country? Uh-oh. There's me not paying attention again. Shouldn't pay tax on clothes as unnecessary items. What about razor blades then? You could make the argument that men have to shave. Therefore, they shouldn't have to pay tax on razor blades, right? I just said that food has no tax unless it's cooked. If it's cooked, it's different. If you go to the supermarket, there's no tax. If you go to Greg's... Don't you remember the whole debate that Greg's had about this? Greg's, like, they take a pasty, and if they heat it up and sell it to you, they have to pay tax on it, because it's cooked. If they don't heat it up and sell it to you cold, they don't pay tax on it. It's bizarre. The pasty tax, exactly. This is where it comes from. Hot food, yeah, well, the sugary drinks is a separate thing. They did that to try and stop people from drinking sugar. I don't think it's when they cook it, as long as they don't keep it heated, it's VAT exempt. You can get warm pasties. I think they get around it by slightly warming them, but not making them hot. Something like that. Like hot food, if you go into a restaurant, you're getting hot food. You're getting cooked, prepared food. And a hot pasty is cooked, prepared food. So there's basically a grey area there. Like, the restaurants don't think that Greggs should not pay VAT. Greggs say, well, hang on, Tesco sells pasties. And then the taxman goes, yeah, but that's because they're cold. And then they say, well, we'll slightly warm them then. Yeah, exactly. That's what they used to do, actually. They used to sell cold food and then put a microwave for customers to use. But then they turned into a bit of a health problem. Like, you know... Have you ever seen the inside of somebody's microwave? Imagine that in a public use area. Never mind the dangers of somebody being an idiot. I'll buy a pasty, says a 15-year-old. And I wonder what happens if I put some tin foil in the microwave and turn it on and leave. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, it's just not worth the risk. Exactly. This is exactly why you can't have nice things. Because there's always one idiot. That's exactly it. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, tax on food. It's like this, you know, they said, well, there shouldn't be any tax on electricity and gas because it's an essential item. Somehow that got bumped up to 7.5%. Once the government decides it wants more money, they'll just make up any kind of rule. Sugar tax, yeah. Well, this is it. They get sugar tax in by saying... They'll say things like, we want to bring sugar consumption down because we want to keep people healthier so they don't go to hospital, blah, 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 blah. The government doesn't really care about your health. It cares about where can we get some money. Oh, well, to a buddy. In this country, tax laws have been going for hundreds of years, so they're horrendously complex. And very rarely do taxes get removed. They're just taxes added on top of taxes added on top of taxes. It's very rare that somebody comes along and goes, hey, why don't we remove that tax? Gowser, thank you for 40 months. Sugar tax doesn't stop people eating sugar. Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. Even if it puts like 5 pence on a bottle of Coke or something, it's not going to stop people from drinking it. They want to drink the Coke. You pay 25% in Denmark. What? In electricity? Blimey. That's crazy. GM, welcome back. That 5p bag tax. Oh, that caused, I saw people arguing with shopkeepers over that one. That was horrendous. Like, you buy a load of stuff and you need a carrier bag to carry it home, so they want to charge you 5p for a bag, and you're like, what? I just bought a load of stuff from your shop. I want to carry it home. Why do you want to give me like well, it's the government wants to charge you 5 pence for the carrier bags. Get out of here. Either you sell me that bag so I can carry it home, or I'm, you know, it's just silly. Absolutely silly. If you go to Boots now, they don't sell you carrier bags. They have no plastic bags. They're all brown paper bags. All of them. Which is deeply ironic when you consider that the reason that the guy invented the plastic bag in the first place was to reduce the number of paper bags we had, because they had to cut trees down to make paper bags. The irony of life. You wanted to create a plastic bag because it could be reused many times. The problem is people don't reuse the bags, they just throw them away. Exactly, that's the problem, they don't reuse them. I thought those bag for life things were fine. You bought a bag from Tesco. It was like £1 or something. It was a big bag, nice and strong. You could reuse it many, many, many times, and then when it got worn out, you take it back to Tesco and they give you another one. I thought that was a good idea. I don't really see where that went wrong. Hang on. It's the police. Use a leather bag, you can't see a problem with that. Yeah, you know. As long as you're not a vegetarian, I guess it's fine. Well, yeah, the real answer is some kind of material that's like plastic but biodegrades after a couple of years. That's what you really want. That way you could put a best before date on the bag and say that's going to carry things for the next 12 months, and after that it's going to start degrading. That's even worse. Why is that even worse, Billy? 32 gig, I don't need 64, Danny. It's pointless. Co-op in Devon have biodegradable bags that are fine. Don't know why they haven't caught on yet. Plastic bags are illegal in Italy, really? Didn't know that. Yeah, still at home, Speedbird. It's the same room I've always been in, I just decorated it. In Australia, you pay 15 cents for a plastic bag. Can you get a paper one? You can't win when it's paper or plastic. No, we need a better solution. Hemp bags. Do you know what? I was watching a documentary while I was having my food about hemp bags, and how they in east of England they grow hemp, which is it doesn't have any drug in it, but they basically use it and then they cut the hemp down and they put it through this £5 million machine, which separates the hemp. You get two materials out of the hemp. One of them they use in the building trade, and the other one you can use to make like insulation stuff, and I can't remember what they use it for now. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting that they use plant to do it. Maybe they could use that to make a bag with. Good night, SF Giants. Have a good one. Ropes are made from hemp, which is made from plant. But I think they said something like the hemp that they get from the plants, which is separate to the other stuff, you can make 25,000 products with, which I thought was pretty crazy. Not a bad view. You went to ask a question on the bags, ended up posting it on VatSim. Nice one, D22. Hope one of the controllers is going to respond to you. Wait, if they invented the transporter to transport your shopping home, that would basically get rid of all delivery van drivers. Which is basically what Amazon's trying to do with drones. They're already testing them. He said take your own bag, it's cheaper. McDonald's or Burger King? Do you know what? I don't even see many Burger Kings anymore. And the last Burger King I went to, I didn't have a good experience. I find Burger King makes inconsistent food from franchise to franchise, whereas McDonald's has it nailed down. Like, if I go to McDonald's, I know what I'm going to get. I go to Burger King, it tends to vary quite a bit. But yeah, there's not many Burger Kings left. I don't even know where the nearest one is. Like, when Burger King used to make proper quarter pounders, it was a really good burger. When it was done properly, it was a good burger. But the fries, yeah, they sucked. They tend to be a bit soggy and not hot. You hate the bags for life. You now have over 100 bags. Are you collecting them or something? You've never had Burger King fries? Don't bother. Well, the last time I looked on Google for Burger King, there used to be one in Harlow, and that's not there anymore. I can't remember if there's one in Chelmsford. It's literally, I have to drive like 10 miles to go to one, which I'm never going to do. You don't rate KFC. Again, some KFCs I've been to have been pretty decent. Just leave them in the back of your car, Newton. Uh-oh. You like the wipes KFC gives you, that's true. That concept seems to have evaded McDonald's. The fact that people eat with their hands and they eat this greasy food and they don't give them any kind of wet wipe. That's what I like about, if you go to a good curry place, like a good Indian curry place, and at the end they bring you those lovely, what they call, like hot, like a flannel, which has been heated up, and it has like a lemon. You can have like a lemon dip and they'll give you a hot flannel to wash your hands. It's so good. Just bought a stream deck, receiving it tomorrow. Want to make some icons like I did, Mr. Catweasel. If you Google, you can download some stuff. Oh, McDonald's paper straws. Oh my god. I understand the need to stop selling plastic straws, but those paper ones, oh, they are nasty. I literally can't deal with it. I have to just take the lid off my milkshake and do that with it, and given that it's like ice cream, it's not easy. They're just nasty, them straws. You know what they remind me of? If you ever go to the doctors and they get those little, like, lollipop sticks that they push your tongue down when they're inspecting your tonsils or whatever. It's like putting one of them in your mouth. You're going, Ugh. You don't have them in France. You have a lid on the glass and a hole to drink. That's interesting. Oh, metal straw. Come on, bro. That's not gonna work. What's my opinion on fish and chips? It's a nice meal. Glass straws. In principle, glass straws are a great idea. In practice, not. Like, I remember when lots and lots of things used to be made out of glass. You know, this 99.9% recyclable material that we would put ketchup in, and, you know, you'd have baby food jars made out of glass, you'd have ketchup made out of glass, you know, mayonnaise, like, everything was glass. And then they all got replaced by plastic. And look where we are now. Oh, you kidding me? Dude, we ain't doing no diversion right now. Let me see where we are. You're kidding. Have you seen this? What does it want? Can I actually turn off here? If I go straight on, I think we can turn left here. Yeah, we can. Okay, that's not so bad. I was going to say, I'm not driving all the way around now. Appears to be 78 months. Been a while since I stopped here. Still good to see. I'm less than 2 years away from 3 digits. Pierce, you should drop by more often, sir. But thank you for staying subbed. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you for 16, Mr. Coops. What's your usual order at Mackie D's? It actually depends. It depends how I'm feeling. More often than not, I'll go for a Big Mac. That's my go-to, is the Big Mac. Big Mac with large fries. The drink will often be a banana milkshake, unless I feel the need for a hot chocolate. Sometimes I don't want a burger, in which case I'll go for the either the chicken select thing, or the little chickeny... Oh, my life, that was close. Little chickeny dipper things. I'm not so keen on... See, I don't like the quarter pounder or the double quarter pounder. I find it really greasy. I find the Big Mac is a nicer burger. What I did like was those specials they brought out. You know, the what they call the select or something burger. They're quite nice meat. Yeah, the 5-piece. Always the 5-piece. 5-piece chicken select is quite filling. Well, I've not actually tried a Grand Big Mac yet, funnily enough. Chicken Legends are nice. I sometimes have a Chicken Legend. I'd say about 5 to 10% of the time. If I don't fancy like a red meat burger, I'll have a Chicken Legend. Get out of it. I was over the line. Thing is, I'm pretty certain my front wheels were over the line when that thing went off. Asked for a Big Mac without pickles. They need to make a fresh one for you. That's interesting. That's an interesting tip, Mikey. With one flaw, I like the pickles. Are you sure they can't just lift the lid and pull the pickles off? Yeah, what happens if you ask for it with extra pickle? What happens then, Mikey? Will they do the same, or will just open the lid and throw more pickles on it? It's a good method, but the burgers aren't always kept on a warmer. They're always kept there. They are actually kept on a warmer. Are people allergic to pickles, Mickey? He asked for extra, he maybe asked to pay extra. Do you know what annoys me is when you go to McDonald's drive-thru and they'll give you a meal, and I don't know about you, but the ones that I go to, there's 2 McDonald's in Chelmsford that I can go to with drive-thrus. They never, ever give you ketchup or serviettes by default. You have to ask for them. And if you forget to ask for them, oh my god, the nightmare. Like, you go and park up somewhere, you eat your burger, and you're like, they didn't give me any wipes. And I forgot to ask for them. And to go back round the drive-thru queue is just, nope, that's not going to happen. So why do you have to ask for them? Obviously I'm going to want to wipe my hands after I've eaten this. Well, they charge you for the large sauce, they don't charge you for the little ones usually. Well, donuts, I do that. I've got a whole bunch of serviettes in my glove box just in case, but I don't get why they do it. Why don't they say to you, do you want some serviettes? Do you want some ketchup? Yep, cost savings. They should just factor it into the price of the Big Mac though. Just say, well, we're going to put an extra 1p on top of the Big Mac and just say to everybody, do you want serviettes? Like, if there was 2 McDonald's... Uh-oh. The game just crashed. If there was 2 McDonald's in Chelmsford and one always asked me and one didn't, which one am I going to end up going to? Wow, why did that just randomly crash? That's the first time, I think. Alright. Become a mystery shopper, then you can get free McDonald's. I've got better things to do with my life. Where's the mouse gone? I can't even find my mouse cursor. Oh well. Could be a beta bug, maybe. Literally lost my mouse cursor right now. Yeah, I have no mouse. It happened to you had to restart your PC. Is that an open beta problem, or... Well, I can tab through stuff, but... Without a mouse, I can't easily... Control, Alt, Enter. What will that do? I did nothing. Yeah, well, Control, Alt, Delete brings up the menu, but I have no mouse. Oh, there it's come back. I had a mouse for a second. Hang on. Hey, I've got the mouse back slightly. Wait a second. I've got this nailed. American Truck Sim not responding. End task. Go away. There we go. I had to tab to Control or Delete. I got the mouse back on the task manager, but the task manager kept hiding behind the game. So I had to press Alt Space M and drag the window up onto my second monitor with my keyboard, and then I could click on the game and click close. And by the way, there's a bug where it doesn't remember the sound of the in-game audio level. So every time you start the game, it's stupidly loud. Until you do this, and then just move that slider slightly. And then it goes, oh yeah. Oh yeah, you wasn't on stupid loud. I remember now. Early. What, 127 beta bug. Where's it gonna put us? Hey, does that mean I won't get the fine that I did have? Let's open the windows. I think it was these lights where I got the fine, so I think it just evaded a ticket. Yep, Neil Caffey, that's exactly right. See, so I'm now $1,000 better off. It was planned. I planned to have the game crash. Do you think they'll ever make it so that trucks get dirty? And then you have to get them washed? I can't remember the last time I went to KFC. Maybe in 5 years. SCS says what, they're actually working on it, or it's on the list. Chinese or Indian takeaway. Again, it depends what mood I'm in. Way back in the summer 2018 stream, SCS stated that dirty trucks was on the list. You assume they're working on it by now? I wouldn't. Depends on how much toilet paper you have available. This is the thing, if you want to go for an Indian, and I've said this before, And this is my lesson for life quirk. If you're thinking about having an Indian curry, always think to yourself, what am I doing tomorrow? You got to go on a long car journey, or you got to go flying, or you're going for a job interview. Gonna spend some time with that girlfriend you've been chasing around for a while. The answer is no. You don't want an Indian. Always think, what am I doing tomorrow? Now, you don't have that problem with the Chinese. With the Chinese, it's easy. Yeah, I can have a Chinese whenever I want. But I tell you what, if I've got like a nasty cold or something, and I'm all bunged up, you know, like full of a cold, a really hot curry sorts you out. Can't tolerate it, Hannah. I understand that. You know, I've not had a good Indian for a while, actually. It's been probably a couple of months since... Probably January, I think, I had a Indian curry. I remember getting a... For some reason, with a Chinese, I go and collect it. But with an Indian, I get it delivered. I don't know why that is. Force of habit. It may well be. It might well be because with the Chinese, they always have like a Chinese takeaway that I can go to and sit, that I have seats and I can sit and wait. With the Indians, the best ones tend to come from the restaurant and they deliver them to you. And I'm not going to go and sit in a restaurant while other people are eating and wait for a curry. Thomas, if you want to make it realistic, every time you come to a toll or border crossing, you can wind down the window as if you were handing the passports to people checking. That's a nice idea, but if you've noticed, when you come up to a border crossing, Jeffsky just kind of kicks his foot and looks around and ignores you. So you wind your window down, and you're like, all right, Jeff, here's my passport. And he's like... That doesn't really add to any realism for me. I feel like that microphone Paul should be sat at a piano playing some Barry Manilow. You what? You what, mate? Barry Manilow? Is he even alive, Barry Manilow? Is he still around? I don't know. Oh, that's twisty. That's ultra twisty. 76, blimey. Mr. Gillas, thank you for 32 months. He's touring, wow. You're beginning to feel sick, Weasel. Have a curry. As long as you don't have a high-power business meeting tomorrow, you're fine. The new sounds are only in the beta at the moment. Cher's taken residency in Vegas. She may well have done. The thing is, Hannah, there's more to it than you think. Like, Celine Dion, she spent about 5 years, or maybe more, in Vegas. And she came to the end of her, it's either this summer or last summer, residency in Vegas. And what they do is they go there and they sign up a contract and they do a bunch of shows for a few years. But they also get some massive tax breaks in Vegas, and that's why they become a resident there for a few years. It's a tax thing. And I suspect that's the same reason Cher's gone there, as well as to do a show. 100% cracked the radio and the gantry thing. I thought that was still bugged out or something. Wasn't it channel 4040 or something? There's no income tax in Nevada. Well, there you go. But I presume you have to be a resident there for so many years to qualify. Well, that's one of the reasons why I wanted a rig. Exactly what you're saying there. What? Games Raid. Exactly what you're saying there. The faff of setting up the wheel and the pedals and everything else. And for me, it was even worse. Like, if I wanted to go from racing to flying, I'd have to, or just not doing any of those things, I'd have to take all the equipment off the desk, and it was a massive faff. And that was one of the reasons for the rig, was so that I could just have the driving set up over here and quickly switch to flying. And when I don't want to do either, I go to the desk and do normal stuff. Mr. Crescent, thank you for 27 months. I don't know. I'll let you know how long it takes when I figure it out, D-Bickle. I haven't figured out the rudder pedals yet. Rig to rig is 2 minutes. What do you mean, Somebody? You mean from the desk to here? We're talking about how long would it take to change from flying to racing, which I don't know because I don't have the rudder pedals in. Desk to there is, yeah, just a couple of minutes. Bit of unplugging. Ultra wide monitors are nice, bro. Well, I hope he got a fine for stepping over the white line. Yeah, that would be my goal, Tommy. 10 minutes. Like, I'm not gonna go from, you know, driving to flying while streaming, but oh my god, stop. I want to be able to, it not to take a long time, not to be a big faff. But I think, I don't know if you're coming on Tuesday, something, but when the plate is drilled, Probably want to have it set up for a few different rudder pedals. Alright. So I want to get the MFGs on there, the Thrustmaster. I think I've got 2 lots of Thrustmaster. And see how it works and drill holes for different ones. Because I need to be able to tell SimLabs, like, what's working and what's not. Oh god. Well, it might well be that, you know, the Thrustmaster rudder pedals, because of the rake of that platform, just work better than MFGs or vice versa. Because they kind of work in different ways. But no problem, Blackmore. Three ultra wides wouldn't work, Gamers Raid. It wouldn't work. The reason, like, if you go wider than this, you need to come sideways like a triple monitor setup does. You'd have to angle it in, otherwise it would literally be like through that wall, which is way beyond your peripheral vision. Can't play it yet, Tommy. Still under NDA at the moment. I'd rather have one monitor. Try a widescreen or ultra widescreen or super widescreen. You may feel differently. Oh my god, we're losing frames through here. NDA, Tommy. An NDA. I can't tell you anything about Flight Sim 2020 yet. "17 miles of very hilly country." What size is best for a first monitor at the moment? Some people like 24s. Personally, I think 27 is better. Which is one of them. That's a 27. I think 27 is a nice size. If you're going to go for triples, you probably want 24s. Depends how much room you've got. 327s takes up a lot of space. Oh my god. Okay. That's actually a lot of feedback now. Oh my god. I may have dialed the terrain feedback too high. Hang on. That's a bit too much. Let's go back to controls. It's literally the first time I've seen it properly feedback the terrain. Yeah, let's dial that back to normal and see how we go. Like, I drove over a curb, it didn't do very... Oh, okay. That didn't make any difference. No need for the gym tomorrow. Yeah, it's all vanilla roads. I'm not using any map mods. No way, Lestat, would I want a butt kicker in the seat. I don't want something to punch me in my lower back every time I drive over a bump. Oh god, it's there. I was like, where are we going? Oh my god, the number of times I'm going down here to get my camera view changed. It's doing my head in. Oops. Okay, the polygons on that terrain were a bit ridiculous. Break. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Well, I usually do use the mirrors, but with track IR, it's a lot easier. Late? I wasn't late. My game crashed. Done. And done, as they say. Mr. Skork, thank you very much for subbing. Welcome to the Net House Score. TJ Vale, welcome back. Well, that's been an interesting test of the rig. Definitely learnt a few things.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Unfortunately, Captain Flynn, it is game over. Well, I thought about that, Ashwin. I thought about using this to move the camera. Well, I think that's the first proper Sunday night trucking we've had in 2020. So that's interesting. That's it for the weekend streams. Thank you very much to all the mods for their wonderful job over the last few days, as ever. Although, to be fair, you guys have been pretty well behaved on the whole. Now, was it January the 5th, Rom? That's true. Okay, I'll be back on Thursday, but it will be a Thursday afternoon because I am going out Thursday evening. Drinking. But Friday will be a Friday evening and weekend should be normal, I think, if I remember. So just be a Thursday afternoon stream. And then I'll be dashing into London to go and see some friends I've not seen for a long time. It's the only day they could do, unfortunately. Anyway, I hope whatever you're doing, you have a great week. And I shall see you all in a few days' time. Thank you for your support as ever. So, take care, guys. Love you all. Good night.